Alongside Brett Taveau, author of Unpacking Greatness, a Chiefs book you can check out on Amazon. Brett, this week we're going over the details. 3rd and 5, the Chiefs need to clinch this game against the Broncos. Very interesting thing that you found, we will reveal later. The Chiefs went to a play that they've run before with some success. So very interesting thing that the Chiefs pulled out here.
Yeah, this is one of their short yardage, got to have it staples is to line up here in a what's called a closed trip set, 3-by-1 closed. It's called closed because the tight end there's a tight end away from the trips and he's attached. So that end is closed, whereas opposed, a regular trip set or a trips open, you'd have a split end over here. So that's a trips closed or a nub trips is sometimes what that's called.
And one interesting thing we see is they snapped this really quickly. Actually, the Broncos had a lineman running off the field right before this, but so many times we see the Chiefs use that pre-snap motion to get man or zone tells. This time they just snap it really quickly and maybe catch the Broncos a half second off guard.
Yeah, as we were looking at that, it was surprising given that the Chiefs they're so high in terms of ranking in the NFL with use of motion, particularly as you said, to give a zone man indicator. So they're going to sprint out left here. The O-line is going to, basically protect their gap to the left. And then if there's no work, as you'll see on the backside tight end, he's going to what's called zone retreat or turn back. The tackle is going to step kind of down because what he doesn't want to do is lengthen that edge. If the tackle goes out to the left, that's going to send that there we go. That's going to send that defensive end out. So what they want to do is shorten that edge and then cut that defensive end to keep his hands down.
And you see Jerick McKinnon do that here. You talk about the tight end on the backside, Noah Gray, 83, kind of wheeling back around to do this. And this gives Patrick Mahomes plenty of time.
Yes, it does. It gives him a nice, clean vision and shortens the throw as we'll all get into when we get back to the wide angle here.
All right, so let's go over these routes here a little bit. You've got let's start here. The whip route, you've got a sit route or sort of a pick route, and then you've got Kelce here kind of having an outer corner, and depending on the defense, he can do different things.
Right. His job is just to get to that open space on the sideline that's created from the concept, and he'll break that off into an out route, as we'll see here, based on the leverage.
And so real quickly, what this does, and you see the 2 arrows where he can go, this play for Patrick Mahomes gives him answers versus both zone and man. And so let's break this down a little bit. I'm going to highlight this player right here. If this is zone coverage, this is something the Chiefs can read off of, and this is where Kelce can alter his route a little bit. And you actually found this sort of Easter egg going back and looking at this because the Chiefs have run this play before in a very important moment, last year's playoff game in overtime against the Buffalo Bills.
Yep. I was looking back through the book and just to look at all the sprint out concepts after you and I had decided we were going to look at this play. And then, as you said, found the exact play here, but against zone coverage here, the Bills are going to play cover 2. You're going to see here now Mahomes throws it early before he really gets behind the corner because he has the space to do so. But you can see here, being zone coverage, you see the corner's hips facing inside. He's going to play that flat and stay low on Tyreek Hill here. But you can see how the concept is designed to give you an answer versus zone, as Kelce's going to come out and start angling towards that space, but he's open pretty much immediately.
Yeah, so you watch this corner at the bottom of the screen. When this is zone, it's basically a high-low read from Mahomes. So once he sees the hips move, once he sees that corner at the bottom of the screen below the 40 commit towards Tyreek Hill, he knows that space is going to be vacated right behind him, Travis Kelce. So you actually see him kind of look towards Tyreek here to start with, but he sees that corner and his movements, boom, right there to Travis Kelce. That play's going to be open against zone.
Yeah, it's called a smash concept, as you said, Jesse. It's a vertical stretch. Put one behind the corner and one in front of the corner and make him wrong.
So against the Bills, it worked because it was against zone. Against the Broncos are running man here. So let's see how the Chiefs go about this play.
Yeah, so same play here, obviously, and what you're going to see here is different as the route by number 2. I think that's Valdez-Scantling there.
That's MVS.
Yeah, he's going to come in, and instead of working back out like we saw last year against the Bills in the playoffs, he's going to stay inside because he knows it's man coverage, and it's just going to muddy the waters if he works back out.
And this guy we have highlighted for the Broncos, he's got Kelce in man coverage. So again, this allows Kelce to read that. He sees it's in man and kind of adjust based off of the leverage there. But when you see man and see this guy covering Kelce, again, he's got a route to be able to go beat it. And that's exactly what he does against the coverage here.
Yeah, he's just so good at understanding leverage and breaking off a route or taking a route higher, to get to open space. So he does that, and obviously, if he keeps that at a high angle, he's making it an easier track to cover for that safety coming over. So he cuts it to the sideline to make it more difficult to close. And then you see it's not a long throw. The Chiefs have utilized sprint out so much in third and fourth down short yardage situations. I think a big part of that is the defense's tendency to bring interior pressure or pinch on the inside, which can push the pocket. So you sprint out to get away from it. The defense is anticipating the inside run, A gap, B gap run. So they're going to pinch inside, try to push the pocket. So sprinting out not only shortens the throw, but gets you away from that traffic in the middle.
And we'll get to the sprint out nature of this too. But, we talked about the two angles with the throw. You see this from Kelce. He went more of a corner route against the zone to run away from the defense or run away from the corner at the bottom of the screen. Here he cuts it off. And like you said, gives Patrick Mahomes a nice angle to throw it because he's reading the coverage, he's reading man, and obviously Patrick Mahomes is reading that with him. And the other part you mentioned, so it shortens the throw, and then you talked about this nice pocket to throw from. He's got all this space, all this time, and it's a shorter throw for Patrick Mahomes. So that kind of makes part of this play as well.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we talked to Patrick Mahomes about these sorts of plays and how when they go through them, he has some say in these. He picks out his favorites. So I think you can kind of summarize, and you talked about this, Brett, kind of why he would like this look. And it seems like if he does have that sort of say, that this thing carried over from one year to the other, because you saw the Chiefs run this in one of the biggest games, maybe the biggest or best game of 2022 in the playoff game against the Bills in overtime, but makes a shorter throw. He knows he has a clean window, and he knows him and Kelce are probably going to be on the same page. A good versus all play, as Patrick Mahomes calls it. You can beat both man and zone coverage. And the end result in this play is a lot like last year's play. He has a lot of answers, and he's able to come through in crunch time here.
Yeah, it's so difficult to defend with the way the Chiefs execute this, how good they are understanding man and zone. They're good at this protection. I've rarely seen issues with this sprint out protection here. So we'll take some time here to talk just a little bit about this protection. So the line's going to basically protect the gap to their left. And the backside tight end, as we said earlier, he's going to protect that C gap and then work back out to pick up any edge pressure. And then the running back's going to cut the edge because as alluded to earlier, if Brown tries to go out and get the outside shoulder in 90, what 90 is going to do is he's going to work out, and that's going to end up possibly, getting him in the throwing lane. So they want him to come upfield or step down like he does here, and then just cut with the back to keep those hands down.
Really good details from the Chiefs, and again, really good play design. And when you have a quarterback who has faith in the play design as well, knows it works, and has confidence it's going to work because it's worked last year as well, this is what you get for the Chiefs. 3rd and 5, they pick up 6 yards. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce on the same page, and the details working out for the Chiefs at a very crucial time against the Broncos. That's going to wrap it up for the details. For Brett, this is Jesse. Tune in for another episode next week.